You are deep in a feature branch. Files are half-edited, tests are mid-run, your terminal is full of useful state. Then a teammate pings you. Can you review this pull request? Or a bug on main needs fixing right now. Your options feel lousy. You can stash your work and pray you remember the path back. You can commit a half-finished change just to park the work. Or you can clone the repo into a second folder and juggle 2 copies of the history. There is a fourth option, and it is the one I reach for every time. Git worktree. Let us strip away the internals. A Git worktree is a new folder on disk that contains a full copy of your repo files, checked out on whatever branch you asked for, placed anywhere you want on your computer. That is the essential experience. You run one command, you cd into a new directory, and you have a clean working tree ready to go. When you are done, you remove the work tree and the folder disappears. The basic loop is simple. Git worktree add, then cd into the new folder. Do your work, edit, commit, push. When you are done, cd back and run git worktree remove. The folder is gone. You can have several work trees at once. Git worktree list shows you everyone. Each entry is a folder, a branch, and a commit. Treat them like separate workspaces that happen to share one brain. Now, how is this different from cloning into a second folder? This is a great question. If you just need a second copy as a repo, why not git clone into another folder? You can, and people do. But a clone and a work tree are doing fundamentally different things under the hood. A clone is a second, independent repository. Git clone copies the entire .git database, history, and all. The two clones know about each other only as remotes. To share work between them, you fetch and push the same as you would with a colleague. Branches you create in one clone are invisible to the other until you sync them. A work tree is a second door into the same repository. It adds a working directory, but the history, the commits, the branches, and the tags all live in one shared .git. Make a commit in any work tree, and the commit is instantly visible in all the others because they are reading from the same underlying Git database. There is nothing to sync. With clones, every time you grab a branch, you need to fetch. With work trees, the branch is already there because the branch was never anywhere else. Git enforces a single constraint, and the constraint is worth knowing upfront. A branch can be checked out in only one work tree at a time. If you are on a feature branch in your main folder, Git will refuse to also check out that same branch in a work tree. That refusal protects you from 2 working directories racing on the same branch index. If you need a second working tree for similar work, make a new branch for the new work tree. This is the trade-off. Clones give you total independence at the cost of duplication and syncing. Work trees give you 0 duplication and 0 syncing at the cost of that one-branch-one-worktree rule. Now, are the work trees linked on disk? Yes, and that is the essence of how Git work trees work. A normal repository has a .git directory that holds everything. The object database, the refs, the configuration, the logs. One repository, one .git. A linked work tree has a .git file instead of a .git directory. That file is 1 line long. The file points back into the main repository .git directory into a small admin folder that holds only the per work tree state, its own head, its own index, a few logs. The heavy lifting, the object database, and the refs is shared from the main repo. That is the linkage. Every work tree points into the same .git directory, which is why a commit made in one work tree shows up immediately in the rest. They are separate folders on disk with separate working files, but they read and write to one shared repository. A few patterns where work trees have earned their keep for me. Quick reviews and hot fixes. I am on a feature branch and someone needs me on main. I git worktree add a throwaway folder, do the review or the fix, push and remove the worktree. My feature branch never moves. Running 2 versions side by side. I keep one worktree on the release version and one on main so I can reproduce a bug against both without juggling stashes. Long-running branches with context I want to keep. Some experiments take days and accumulate useful terminal state. A worktree lets me park the experiment in its own folder and pop back in without disturbing my main flow, and handing a whole task to a coding agent. A work tree is just a folder, which means I can hand a coding agent the full lifecycle in one instruction. Do this work in a work tree, open a pull request, and remove the work tree when you are done. The agent gets its own clean workspace, my main folder sits untouched, and the throwaway folder disappears on its own. The next time you are tempted to stash or clone just to look at another branch, try a work tree instead. One brain, many desks. That is all a work tree is.